Welcome to the KYC Podcast, where we keep you connected to the latest in structured cabling, network innovations, and cutting edge technology. Brought to you by Cable and Connections, your trusted low voltage distributor since 1997. Join us as we dive deep into the world of network infrastructure, fiber optics, security solutions, and everything in between. We're talking to industry insights, experts, and the tools and tech that power the connected world. So plug in, power up, and get ready to level up your knowledge. This is the KYC Podcast. And today we're joined by Adam Moore from Vertical Cable. Welcome, Adam.
Thanks for having me, buddy. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. I'm really excited to have you on the show. I know we spoke briefly last week about this, but to be able to record it and get it out to the world and let people know who you guys are, I'm super excited.
That makes two of us, bud.
Now, I know normally we end the podcast talking about TEKFest, but I wanted to start the episode talking about TEKFest. So I know TEKFest 2025 is coming up in Nashville, April 23rd and 24th. Vertical Cable is going to be there, correct?
Yes, sir. We will
Okay,
be
that's what I
there,
like to
full
hear.
staff, ready to go. Me, myself, as well.
Okay, and you said 3 people are coming or 2?
Yeah, we're sending three folks. We're sending myself, and then we have our head of marketing who does all of our website and social media, helps promote a bunch of the products, and then we also have a newly hired gentleman named Hugo, who is more of like a technical training kind of world. We're going to be sending him to like local distributors to do training and product demos and stuff like that in the future. We
Awesome.
thought this would be a great show to send him to.
Yeah, I know Mike. We all love Mike, but I have not met Hugo yet. So I guess TEKFest will be a great opportunity for me to meet him and learn a little bit about him and his knowledge in the industry.
Absolutely.
Now, the people that are listening, if you don't know what TEKFest is, it's an annual event hosted by Technology Worldwide, which is a nonprofit charity in the technology realm. So, if you're into technology, MSPs, installers, low voltage, anything to do with technology as a whole or the low voltage industry, the tech knowledge community is for you. You can join the community, attend TEKFest in Nashville, April 23rd and 24th, and really learn all you can about this industry and the people involved in it to help grow not only your business, but the industry as a whole. There will be tons of vendors on site, hands on with the products, getting valuable knowledge. Get to take home some goodies, take home some valuable intel that you would not have otherwise gotten. So, Adam, with that being said, what's your favorite part of meeting customers face to face at trade shows like TEKFest?
My favorite part is the direct feedback, both from distributors like Cable and Connections and
Mm-hmm.
also from the techs themselves.
Right.
That kind of feedback is invaluable from the manufacturing standpoint, and we just really appreciate it. It's one of the reasons why we support this every year, and we love showing up for you guys.
Absolutely. Now, I know with Vertical Cable being involved with the technology community, there's been a couple of times where they have suggested products or even certain additions to an existing product you guys offer that have actually became uh, an actual product that you guys have made available to the industry for purchase, like the slim design, the slim patch panels, the Cat 6As that you guys have. I know those were only individuals, and then we started doing in-house contractor packs, and the community liked those so much. They said this has to be an actual product, and we worked with you guys to make that happen. So the contractor packs for the Cat 6A slim lines are now available, as well as the Cat 6A keystones are now in contractor packs. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That was you guys. We got to give you Cable and Connections the credit for that first. You guys did start that ball rolling. I think it was last year.
Right, right.
And now we've got from on a grander scale, we're able to bring them in, so you guys aren't repacking bags for the customers. But it's a big deal for those that little plastic bag not having to
Yep.
open 24 of those and deal with all that is a big deal for these techs.
Yeah,
So
I've seen countless
great thing.
videos of contractors ripping those bags open one at a time, trying to do 5, 6, 10 at a time, ripping on that line to get as many cables as they can out at a time. But being able to give them the contractor packs is definitely gonna to help them on the job site.
Absolutely.
So, can you give our listeners a brief history of vertical cable and what sets you guys apart from other structured cabling manufacturers in the industry?
Sure. So, brief history wise, Vertical Cable started in 1989 as they're like a computer parts and computer repair company. In 2006 was when they started transitioning to more or less the vertical cable that you guys see today as a low voltage manufacturer. In 2013, that's when I came aboard. We opened the New York office. And we pivoted more towards manufacturing end. That was part of the reason why me and the other folks in the New York office were brought in. We had some manufacturing background in the industry. 7 years later, we started with the bulk fiber, and we also opened our Houston location, which is our fourth location in 2024. We've been around for about 35 years, a little over 100 employees total. We've grown quite a bit. As far as what sets us apart, I would have to say that it's probably that we're still family owned, regardless of our size. So we're a large manufacturer that's run like a small business still, and that's got tons of advantages that we like to.
Yeah, I think that's what makes vertical cable and cable and connections very similar is the fact that no matter how much we grow, we always have that small, locally owned uh, atmosphere within all of our locations. So it doesn't matter if you've got 4 locations or 40 locations, we're always going to treat the company as a small business and treat our customers as they need to be treated to ensure they get what they need when they need it.
Well said, man. I couldn't have done it better myself.
I try. So, what is the meaning behind the name vertical cable?
The meaning it's more of a commitment. We're trying to elevate the industry. We're trying to elevate installers. We're trying to deliver future-proof solutions
Okay.
to the industry. That kind of all goes along with the vertical cable name. It's not just about running the cable vertically, or
Right.
it's more of a mindset. We try and instill
Right.
that, and everything we do, every phone call we take, every order we send out, it's always trying to boost up our installers and help them out any way we possibly can.
Okay. And that's how I was thinking of it too, was less about how the cable is ran and more about how the company itself is ran. Always looking up, looking for growth, looking to help out the customers as much as you can, future proof, improve products, always looking up and forward.
Absolutely, man. Got to elevate.
Oh yeah, all the time. So we always like to give a look behind the curtain for the companies that help us every single day. So can you tell us a bit about yourself, your name, and what you do at Vertical Cable?
Sure, man. Vertical cable kind of handles the sales aspect a little bit differently than other manufacturers in the industry. So I am intimately involved in the entire process, from finding customers to quoting customers to even scheduling those customers' freight shipments, pricing, everything. Literally, I'm involved with everything but sending you the bill. Intimately involved, and that kind of gives us an advantage. So when you guys call as the distributor and have any questions, or even if the end user calls, they know that we're sending them out a shipment through you guys. They know exactly who they need to talk to. It's going to be me and me alone. You don't have to worry about calling and getting tons of different people on the phone.
Right.
That's more of the the family-owned aspect. Me personally, I've been in the industry for quite a long time. Probably almost 18 years.
Okay.
Total. I've been with Vertical 12 of them. I've had every job in this industry, as far as picking pallets and material to shipping stuff out, to quality control, to now sales, running a full territory. I've done it pretty much all. Like I said, everything but accounting I've done.
Right. And I think that's really what gives you the product knowledge you need for the products you're selling, is to start at the bottom in the warehouse, pulling orders, shipping pallets, getting hands on with the stuff, and then working your way up from there to ultimately having the knowledge and the expertise in almost every aspect of what you sell and how it's sold.
Absolutely. I 100% agree there. It makes my job a lot easier, kind of moving backwards, knowing what all of the other people involved in the process are going through. It just makes everything a lot smoother. And I mean, as you know more than anybody else, time is money in this industry. So having smooth communication and a smooth order entry and shipping process really, really helps everybody out down the line.
That's what I like to hear. So let's pivot for a second, talk about products and innovation within vertical cable. So I know you guys offer a variety of different cabling solutions, from access control wire to Cat 6, Cat 6A, all the way up to fiber. So what are your most popular products right now, and what is your favorite product offer at this moment?
Sure. So we've got two distinct lines as far as we do copper and we do fiber now. The biggest movers, most popular products on the copper end are going to be our USA made Cat 6 and Cat 6A, and all of the associated connectivity with that, patch panels, jacks, plugs, faceplates, all of that. Still very popular. And our fiber line, we're getting a lot of traction with our rack mount and wall mount fiber enclosures. LGX inserts, we do soup to nuts as far as the fiber and copper end go. We try and really be a one-stop shop whenever we can.
Right.
Those are big movers. We're also moving a ton of J hooks. We have some newer style J hooks in now that are priced very competitively in the market. So distributors are very happy with those. I think that's it. And of course, the 24 count slim bags that we talked about
Right.
earlier. Those just came into our stock about a month ago, and they are already moving out quite quickly.
Yeah. And some people have asked me why 24 count, because most of the time you hear contractor pack, you think it's a pack of 25, but for these slim lines, it's actually 24. Can you tell our listeners why that is?
Well, patch panels are delineated typically in 24 counts. So like a 1U blank patch panel where they're using these 6-inch cords are 24 ports. So you got 24 cords to go with each panel. And jacks we do sell in 25 counts bags, but that's more or less like, you'll always need an extra jack. Right. So we like to include, an extra one in there. But 24 counts, it matches right up with whether you're using a 1U or 2U blank panel or a 110 panel. Right there, good to go. No waste, no extra to have to bring back home or toss if you don't need it.
Right.
Just fits in right perfectly in there.
Yeah, exactly. And we started hand packaging those and selling them through our warehouses, and people love the 24 count. But I think the 25 count keystones is the industry standard. That's what people are used to. But with those keystones, what tool do you recommend for your guys' keystones?
Okay, so that's going to be our VMAX punch down tool. We love to promote this tool. I mean, I'll tell you again, it's the best keystone punch down tool that you're ever going to use. I only say that because countless techs and distributors have told me that. And the best part about it is we'll give you one. All you have to do is order the right amount of jacks. It's 500. Send you a free tool, and you'll have the best tool in the industry for free. You don't even have to pay for it. Yep. If you'd like to buy it, we sell them as well. But, I mean, the thing kind of sells itself. You punch down one jack, which everyone will have the opportunity to do at TEKFest if you have not already. We're actually going to have a little contest to see if you can beat the world record as far as terminating a Cat 6 cable with our punch down tool. It's, I think, 18 seconds, so you better bring your A game if you want to try and beat that. But everyone will have an opportunity to do it. And it's an awesome tool, man. It's really, really good. The tolerances on it are very tight. No missed punches, one squeeze, everything's done. Never hear any complaints about it. I know a lot of salespeople probably say that about all their stuff, but I'm sure you'll back me up. Where
right,
it's just a great quality product. It really
absolutely.
is.
And I know you said two things there. So one thing was you get the tool for free if you order enough jacks. So the way that we've always talked about it at Cable and Connections is the Keystone jacks are like the K-pods for your Keurig, and then the Keurig is the VMAX punch down tool itself. You'll give the pods away. Keep the tool, keep the Keurig, and keep buying the pods. Keep buying the pods, keep the Keurig. And that's a good way to look at it, is you want people to keep that tool in their hand and just keep buying the Keystone jacks, because that tool is such an easy to use tool, and it's one of the more form-fitting tools. A lot of other people have a really bulky, similar tool to what you guys offer, but I really think the VMAX iPunch tool that you guys offer really takes the cake as far as the way it looks, the way it fits in your hand, how smooth it is when it crimps down. Everything in it just makes it a top tier tool. And I know you guys like to use the term the most wanted tool in the industry. I think that fits that tool perfectly.
Yeah, man, we really try. We're very specific as far as QCing these things when they come in. It's our baby, so we're very protective of the tool.
And
everybody seems to love it. So
what's the warranty on that tool? Is there a warranty?
Okay, so in order to keep the tool as good as it is, you'll find that other manufacturers have like replacement blades on the tool. We don't offer replacement blades on the tool. If there ever is an issue with the tool, bring it back to your distributor and we'll give you a free one. There is some maintenance required on the tool. If some of these TKW guys really like to punch stuff down, just a little bit of lubrication on the tool is going to keep that tool working. But if there's any issues with it, we've had other customers who are the tool also only works with our jacks. If you try it with other jacks, you're going to break it.
Okay.
Which we've had people
break the tool or break the jack or both.
No, they break the tool. They throw the tolerance of the tool off
Gotcha.
Because our jack is literally. I mean, take my word for it. Please don't try because you're going to break it. But even in those situations, we've kind of helped them out, send them a new tool. We want the tool to work the same day as it did the first day you punched it down.
Right.
So if there's an issue that requires us to replace that tool to make sure that the end user is getting that experience, that's absolutely what we do.
And what is the lifespan of that tool? How many crimps have you seen people get out of that tool?
I've had customers that have had the tool for years. I mean, I think it just really depends on the volume of use you're getting out of it. Unfortunately, that's not anything we've really tested per se. It's actually a good idea for us to probably check that out.
Right.
But usually any issues that people have with it, it usually just requires a slight adjustment or lubrication of the tool. Okay. And we kind of handle that troubleshooting through our engineering department here. Our engineer will walk the tech through a quick adjustment or lubrication, and that usually solves it. If it doesn't, like I said, it's usually that the techs tried to use another jack in the tool, and then we'll replace it for them.
Right.
We try and be as reasonable as we can.
Okay. Now, speaking on the VMAX tool and innovating products, do you guys have any new products or upcoming developments that you can share?
Yes, there's a couple areas where we're getting into that's new. One of them is a thermostat wire, which we have never carried before. We do have those in stock now. A little bit further down the road, we're kind of in a testing phase of it now. We're not, too sure, but it's leaning towards going to be a yes, is a low voltage lighting wiring. And also on the fiber end, we are doing Ethernet switches and SFPs.
Okay.
So those haven't quite taken off yet, but they're in stock. We're still trying to get the marketing right on those. I'm sure you guys will be able to all check those out at TEKFest as well. We've got some great warranties on those. The Ethernet switches come with a lifetime warranty, and the SFPs are a 3-year warranty.
Nice. Yeah, the warranty is always nice because you never know what could happen once you've got that product out in the field.
Oh, yeah, man. Absolutely.
So how does your bulk cable compare to competitors? Because some people, you strip the cable back, the colors are super dull. You can't really make out what the colors are. Some have a spline, some don't have a spline. So what makes your guys' Cat 6 and Cat 6A bulk cable stand out from the others? Sure.
When you talk about bulk cable, a lot of installers have told me it shows, where they're not really familiar with our stuff. Well, it's cable. It's all made to the same, TIA spec. They tell you how to make it. That's how it's got to be, which is, somewhat true. It's not necessarily like making a number 2 pencil, but it's close. What we focus on, as far as quality goes, is the packaging. We're very, very, very strict on the packaging. I'm sure if you've ever been to any of our shows before, you've seen you can stand on our USA-made Plenum Cat 6 boxes. You could stand on those things. They're not crushing. Everything's nice, thick, double-walled cardboard, wide-mouth cone. As far as everything surrounding the cable, that's where we really try and differentiate ourselves as far as the customer service, having the stock, being able to get it to you in a reasonable amount of time, having someone to talk to on the phone when you have an issue with it or have a question, can get people quick responses. We really try and give you the best customer service in the industry when you're a customer of ours, whether you're a $1,000 a month customer or a $10,000 a month customer. We try and treat everybody the same with the same respect. And we know everyone's trying to make money in the industry. So we're selling to businesses. Everyone's got to make money from the manufacturer to the installer in order for this to work. So we really, really try and focus on that whole buying experience when you're a vertical cable
Absolutely.
customer.
Now we have customers that'll come to me and they'll say, I know I'm a baby customer. I got a small $10 order. And I'll say, look, I don't care if your order is $10, $10,000, $10 million. I treat all of my customers the same. And I want to make sure that I can get you whatever product you need when you need it. Now, you said wide mouth cones for all of your boxes. Jeffrey, can you hand me those blue cones right there? We actually, when we cut cables to length for our customers, we end up with empty boxes, and we collect these little blue cones and stack them together. And I'd walk around and I just hit the end of it, and it makes like this annoying noise for everybody in the office for me to agitate with. So anytime they throw out one of the boxes, I tell them to give me that blue cone out of it.
There you go, man. You'll have a stack higher than the ceiling soon.
Yeah. Now I know you guys carry yellow access control cable. That plenum yellow jacket on the access control cable. There's actually a fun fact about that cable. We have an in-house sales guy that's been with Cable and Connections for almost 20 years. He actually helped invent that stuff way back in the day when he worked for a company called Anacom. He actually helped invent that stuff. So it's crazy that we have someone that works for us that helped invent that access control cable, that composite cable that everybody uses.
That's really neat. It's funny that you brought that up. We're actually bringing that in white now as well.
Okay. It's still plenum, but white.
Yes, sir. Yeah, apparently white's very popular. I have to say I had no idea until I asked the right people the questions. They're saying, "Yeah, we actually sell more white than yellow." So
people call me up and say,
"White's coming in."
Yeah, people call me up and say, "Do you have that yellow access control cable?" I do. I've never heard somebody ask me for the white one yet, but we'll see.
The banana. Yeah,
man. So are there, and these are installation and best practices that you've seen out in the wild. So what are some of the best practices for network cable installation that you'd recommend to our audience? Whether it's your VMAX tool, whether it's your Cat 6 cable, what are the best practices that you've seen people use your products for?
Sure. There's a few of them. Number one, which I actually saw and I recommend to anyone who was at the first TEKFest show at your location in West Columbia, is that pulling pal. Man, that thing really helps with pulling cable. We have some techs that are extremely rough when they pull cable, and you can't pull it like Romex.
Right.
Those conductors inside are very, very small.
Yeah.
And as with especially with 6 and 6A, the slightest kink in that cable could mean it's not passing when you
right.
run
the Shout out to Paul from Pulling Pal. He actually invented that in his garage. So,
yeah, man.
Shout out Paul.
It's a great product. Yeah, it's a great product. But in general, it's just you don't have to baby the cable, but just it's not Romex when you pull it. As far as terminations, I see guys untwisting. They strip the cable back and they completely untwist all the pairs before they terminate that jack.
Right.
I actually learned from Chuck, another TKW guy, in one of his shorts. That's not the proper way.
He'll actually be in an upcoming episode of the KYC podcast.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, that's technically not the proper way to terminate the jack. You want to keep the twists on those individual pairs, the integrity of those twists,
right,
as reasonable as you can, right up till you get to the point of termination.
Yep.
which is just more of a tech. It doesn't really take any longer or any less amount of time. It's just more of a technique thing. And the other thing, I don't know, I might have been talking to you about this the other day, but a lot of customers ask, do not paint your plenum cables. Do not paint them.
Right. Because
not paint them.
That completely eliminates the need for the plenum jacket once you paint it.
Yes, and depending on the paint, that paint could be a solvent. It's actually going to break the jacket down.
Right.
Depends on what the paint is, but there's not a manufacturer, unfortunately, us included. We cannot honor warranty on painted cable.
Right.
And any inspector worth their salt should be telling you to pull that stuff out, especially if it's plenum.
Right, which makes sense. Which makes sense. It's plenum for a reason. Do not limit the integrity of that cable.
Yeah, man, it stinks for when it happens, but unfortunately, it's just the way it's got to be. You can't, that plenum jacket compound. That's what you're paying for when you're paying for that price. There's not really much of a difference in the cable construction between riser and plenum aside from that compound. Any solvent or the wrong paint you put on there is just going to completely degrade that jacket.
Right.
And you're going to lose the safety that you need from that cable if stuff were to hit the fan and the building catches on fire.
Absolutely. So I've briefly heard you mention the word warranty on painted cables. So does Vertical Cable offer any training or certification to its installers?
Yes, we do. We've got both copper and fiber. It's more of like a certification program that contractors can fill out. They go through the local distributor. That will unlock access to our 25-year registerable warranty. Usually schools, government projects, even some larger private projects now are not only requiring a 25-year warranty, but they're requiring that the installer proves that they're a certified installer of the manufacturer that they are installing.
Right.
So we do try and help out there. That's more or less just like a test. We want to make sure that they're going through a distributor. If they are, they're typically a legit installer to begin with. That kind of helps us. We don't want to, register a guy installing stuff at his house. But we do the registration. As far as like product training goes, I had mentioned Hugo, who's going to be at TEKFest this year.
Right.
We are going to be sending him around to different distributors. He's out of Florida, so we're going to start with local Florida distributors first. But eventually, towards the middle and end of the year, we'll be sending him out to distributors to do events as far as install, training, all that kind of stuff. We're going to be having that ready and going. Yeah.
Well, South Carolina is not too far from Florida, so hopefully we're on his short list of distributors to come pay a visit to.
Definitely, yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys will definitely be on the list. Absolutely.
Nice. That's what I like to hear. So that leads right into this next conversation piece on how does Vertical Cable support the distributors and resellers like Cable and Connections.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways we try. The number one, which distributors tend to like the most, is direct leads. Anything we get through the website or through our social media, we're pushing those contractors through our most trusted distributors, of course. We'll hold the contractor's hand as much or as little as they want until they get set up through that distributor. We try and do that regionally, so guys aren't, driving 2 states across or dealing with people that they can't see. We love sending guys to Cable and Connections because you guys physically stock the stuff. You buy a lot of our product, and you've got showrooms in pretty much, I think, all of your locations. I don't know if there's any that don't have a showroom.
And I think
it's a great spot for these guys to go in and check our stuff out in person.
I think you confirmed with me last week that we're actually the largest vertical cable stocking distributor in the world. Across all of our locations, we stock the most vertical cable product out of all your distributors.
It's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you guys are really good at making sure it's always in stock for your customers as well, which makes our job a little bit easier. All we have to do is make sure we get you your orders.
Right, and even if we don't have it, you guys are really good on shipping direct to the customer if needed. So we kind of work hand in hand in that aspect. If we don't have stock on it and you do, you'll ship it for us.
Absolutely.
So what is your strategy for staying competitive in this crowded market? Because I know a lot of people try to sell cable and it doesn't work out and they pivot and do something else after a year or two. So what does Vertical Cable do to stay competitive in this market?
There's quite a few. Number one, obviously, I said before, is the customer service. I mean, it's kind of like a buzzword anytime you talk to a salesman for anything. But we really do try and give our customers the best experience they are going to get in the industry. Stepping away from the customer service side, we're very strict with the quarantine process and the QC process of product coming in. Any overseas manufacturers we use for overseas product are vetted for years before we take the jump and jump the gun on those guys. And then we're still sending out test products. A lot of TKW guys receive some of our pre-release stuff to get feedback on.
Right.
So that's always great. And we just, we try and treat you and everyone that deals with us like family, man. Like I said, everyone's got to make money. We're all trying to, get by nowadays. And it's just important that everyone understands that. And we're all working towards the same goal.
Yeah. A lot of things you're saying resonate with us because we're the same exact way at Cable and Connections. So a lot of what you're saying, I'm like, man, that fits us perfectly. And maybe that's why we get along so well the way we do. Vertical cable and connections is the kind of like the perfect partnership.
Customers first, man. That's always how it goes. It's got to be.
Yep. Now I know we've talked about quality control. We've talked about staying competitive in a crowded market in this industry. So let's kind of pivot for a second and talk about some fun and offbeat talking points. So what would you say is the biggest misconception about cabling that you hear all the time? Like for me, it would be pass-through plugs versus standard mod plugs. Some people hate pass-through, some people love them. So what's a big misconception that you've heard?
That's a good one. That's a good one because people will defend that choice they'll die on the hill.
And a lot of times it's
pass-through or otherwise.
Yeah, and a lot of times it'll be the veterans in the industry that have been doing this for 20 plus years hate pass-throughs. And the new up-and-comers that are doing it prefer pass-throughs over the standards.
Yeah, it's I think it's more of just what an experience thing at the end of the day. What they're used to using. Sometimes that is a hurdle that we have to overcome. We've been in the industry for a long time, but we haven't been in the industry as long as everybody else. So it's a nut you have to crack on some of these new installers, which is why we love that VMAX tool so much.
Right.
Because tools and a good quality tool goes a long way with these installers.
And really believe it or not, I've actually had customers prefer the individual punch downs from those old school impact punch down tools over the VMAX tool.
With the little palm protector you had to put on your hand. Oh,
right.
Man.
Yeah, with the little hockey puck and you're sitting there punching down individually. I have customers that prefer that method over the all-in-one crimp tool.
Whew, man, if they come to TEKFest, we're going to try and change their mind.
That's right, change their mind.
We'll try.
So have you ever seen an install that was so wild, it took you a second to process it, or you had to do a double take? It was either so bad of an install or such a perfect install that you were like, wow.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few coming from All Green Lights, Pierce on social media. I've seen from him both the worst, and days later he's transformed it into the cleanest thing you'll ever see. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, speaking with Pierce, he said he'll walk into a site that he just wants to napalm, but he walks into it, he looks at it, and he's like, how am I going to do this? And then days later, it's brand new.
It's done. The amount of organization that's got to go on in that guy's head when he's planning this stuff out. I mean, I know a lot of it is routine for him because he's doing a lot of these clean installs. He does really good work, so he's a busy guy. But it's just laying all of it out and, being able to see the end point from the beginning point and working towards that goal. When you walk into a literal rat's nest of product, you don't know one crazy. It's unbelievable the talent that some of these guys have.
Absolutely. And that kind of like what I was going to say is, have you ever seen an install that's been there for a minute and you see it and there's no way this is fixable, but then you see what Pierce at All Green Lights has done and you're like, if anybody could do it, it would be that guy.
Absolutely, man. There's quite a few TKW guys that are well worth the follow.
Oh
If you
yeah.
like clean low voltage installs.
Yep.
A lot
Yeah.
of these guys all of them that I've met have been incredible. But Pierce,
Yes.
man, he can teach it too, which is
Oh
crazy.
yeah. Yeah.
He's an awesome teacher. When previous TEKFest events, I got a chance to check out some of his talks that he was giving. The guy is really talented as far as anything involving it, installing this low voltage product in the industry.
Yeah.
He's an awesome dude. That's why we gave him the cabling award. He was the first one to receive it at
Yeah.
TEKFest. We'll be giving
Yeah.
out another one this year, but I can't
His
disclose who's
award
getting
is
it.
actually sitting right there. He left it at the first TEKFest and has not came to get it.
Oh,
So it's
there. Yeah, you're
sitting
right. There it
right
is. Yeah,
there.
I can
Yep.
see.
So
There it is. Yes.
that's his award right there. And there's actually a couple of guys within TKW, like you said, that do phenomenal work. Like you got Mason Bortz at BIT. He does incredible work. You've got Jeff Day from Better Days Technology. You've got Dave Johnston from Ohio Fit. He does incredible work. A lot of the guys within
Yeah, man.
TKW
Yeah.
can give
Sharif,
invaluable.
Mr. Tech Chicago.
Oh yeah, yep, yep. I was talking to him this morning, but the people within the TKW community give such invaluable insight and knowledge into this industry and the products that are used. If you're not a part of TKW, then you are absolutely missing out, because the knowledge you get from just engaging with the people in the community is bar none the best that you will ever be a part of.
I agree, man. Even from the manufacturing level, I can tell you, selling this
Yep.
stuff, they're an awesome resource to have.
Oh yeah, and they all love vertical cable too. I don't think any of them, at least to me, have ever said anything bad about vertical cable. It's solid
That,
product, and you guys have quality control to ensure that you're putting out top quality product.
I'm trying
Speaking
to keep
of,
that run going, buddy.
speaking of, if vertical cable were a movie, and I know we talked about this a little bit last week, and you had that underdog mentality. Do you still agree that if vertical cable was a movie, it would be an underdog story?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the best way I would put it, man.
Okay.
We're fighting every day. Like I said before, we're a large manufacturer when you look at it numbers wise, but when you compare us to some of the giants that are in this industry, well, we're not very big at all compared to those guys.
Right.
So yeah, so it's a constant battle. We don't have reps specing our product in these multiple $1 million projects where manufacturers are just walked in and they're expecting business.
Right.
We don't ever expect business from anyone.
Right.
We're earning that business every day. And if that's what we
Absolutely.
got to do, that's the way to do it. And I feel like that's the best way to do it. You got to earn every sale.
Absolutely. Same way at Cable and Connections. You literally took the words out of my mouth with how we do things. You never expect the business. You always want to earn the business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, superhero mode. So, if I was an installer, which if I were an installer, I would be the worst installer. I'm pretty sure I'd be fired on day one trying to pull cable through a ceiling. So, if you could have one superpower that would help you on a job site installing cable, what would that superpower be?
All right. I had two that were really close. I really thought about this. The first one, I think X-ray vision would be incredibly, incredibly beneficial. But I'm not sure if it's going to be more beneficial than being able to telekinetically pull the cable without having to actually touch it.
Right.
It's got to be between those two. I can't hammer out which way I would go. But both of those I think would be invaluable. Right. If you can have one, the other, or both.
I'd have to go
a step ahead.
I'd have to go with telekinesis to just move that cable across the ceiling with your mind without having to wear your body out and pull that cable as hard as you can across the ceiling. I think that would.
Yeah, man. I'm going to stick with X-ray vision only because if we had the telekinesis, we wouldn't need the pulling pal.
Right.
So
I get that. Yeah. But pulling pal might actually help with the telekinesis though, because you can still get snagged on the corner no matter how you're pulling it. So the pulling pal could still come in handy no matter how you're pulling the cable.
That's a good point. But yeah, I think either one of those, man, that would be. I think anyone would would pay a lot of money for either one of those abilities in this industry. That's for sure.
Right. So a cabling time machine. If you could go back in time, or even into the future, let's say, doesn't even have to be the past. You could go 100 years into the future. What is one piece of technology, obsolete, or that has not been invented yet, that you would like to see?
Okay, if we're sticking into the industry, I'm gonna go forward, a future.
Okay.
And I think what would be a complete game changer. Now, this is not possible now, but again, we're talking in the future. Being able to splice fiber without a fusion splicer. If we could terminate and splice fiber as easily as we terminate and splice copper, copper would not exist.
Right.
Copper product just would not exist.
Yeah.
Fiber's greener. It's better for the environment in the long run. You're not mining the stuff out of the ground. But it's just, I think a big hurdle with why the industry hasn't moved to fiber yet is just because of the enhanced requirements and the knowledge that you need in order to install it properly.
And it's a lot more delicate without getting extra stuff with it, like an armored jacket, indoor outdoor jacket. You got to get all this extra stuff to make it more durable. So I think that's one big aspect in why it's not as popular as copper. But
I agree.
I know you said making it as easy to splice as it is for copper. I had a customer walk into our showroom floor the other day, and he came in with a piece of fiber. And he said, I was doing yard work at my daughter's house, and I cut the fiber line in her yard. Do you guys have anything I can splice it back together? And I said, I'm not going to have anything where you can just splice it back together good as new. Yeah, I had to explain to him that the fiber itself is not a 1-2 splice like that. So I referred him to a good installer locally that does fiber splicing and got him taken care of. But we just talked about you going into the future and seeing fiber as a mainstay. So a future prediction. Where do you see the craziest future application for structured cabling? Now, I know they're talking about smart cities and doing a data center on the moon. Where do you think you could see the craziest application for structured cabling in the future?
The data center on the moon is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with, I don't know if anyone's heard in the industry, with these new data centers and all this AI stuff that they're building. These newer data centers are going to have literally their own mini nuclear reactors next to them in order to provide enough power for these data centers to run. And I think that's pretty neat as far as the communications cabling that's also going to be involved there. Just small deployable nuclear reactors.
Right.
Like mind-blowing technology that I didn't think I'd ever hear in my lifetime.
Right.
But here we are.
Right. So do you think we'll ever be in a world without cables? Or you think we'll always need them?
We might be in a world with less, but I don't think we'll be in a world without them. And that's more from the security end of things. U.S. government, for instance, is not using Wi-Fi on anything secure. When you're transmitting information over a wire, you need to physically tap in to that wire in order to get access to that information. You're not just spamming Wi-Fi codes until you get the right answer. So I think from that aspect, you're definitely going to see cabling well into the future. I would say that you'll probably see wireless electricity before you see completely wireless communication.
Yeah, and I know they've been working on wireless electricity since Nikola Tesla was around. So they've been trying to do that for a while, but hopefully we could see something like that in the future. That'd be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, man, that'd be great.
So let's move into this next topic here. It's hot take speed round. So I'm gonna rapid fire a couple of things at you, and you hit me with your best answer. Okay? So
all right.
Most of these are industry based. They're all going to be about cable management, structured cabling, fiber, that sort of thing. So I'm just going to rapid fire a few things at you, and you give me your best answer. So which is worse, a messy cable or an unlabeled cable?
Ooh, they're both terrible, but unlabeled, I'm going to say the worst is unlabeled.
Unlabeled or poorly labeled? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, poorly labeled, worse than unlabeled.
Right,
Jesus.
right.
You
So
have no
Velcro
hope
or
with,
zip ties?
Velcro.
Okay, okay. If cable could be any color, what cable would you prefer?
Blue.
Okay,
Blue.
okay. And what's an alternate name for Cat 8?
Fiber.
I was gonna say overkill, but fiber
Yeah.
makes more sense. Like, just do fiber. No need for Cat 8. Just do fiber. Yeah, absolutely.
Just do it, man.
So
Drop the money. Do the fiber.
if cable management was an Olympic sport, who do you think would take home the gold within the TKW community?
I leaked this answer before. It's got to be Pierce.
Pierce all day.
All day.
There's some up and comers that might give Pierce a run for his money. We might see happen at TEKFest. I don't know.
There are, and like I said, we're putting out a new award this year. We will have a new winner. So I just don't want to reveal who that is, but we will have a new winner this year.
So you've already got the winner picked, but you're just keeping it hush hush until TEKFest.
We have to, man. We got to give you guys a reason to show up.
Well, I want our listeners to guess who that might be down in the comments of this episode. Let us know who you think the winner is of the Vertical Cable Award. What was the name of the award?
Installer of the Year.
Installer of the Year. Who do you guys think wins Installer of the Year? All right, so weirdest places that you've seen structured cabling. Like for me, I believe it was a roller coaster at Carowinds in Charlotte, North Carolina. I saw some Cat 6 cable on a roller coaster.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I am going to say it's not maybe an odd place, but it's just something you don't think about where I noticed it. The delivery room when my daughter was born.
Yeah.
There was Cat 6 everywhere.
Yeah.
It was all red. And, of course, me being the salesman that I was looking up the E number on the jacket to figure out the supplier that the hospital was using and why wasn't it ours.
Yeah, anytime.
But
anytime I've been in the hospital, I look at the faceplates, the keystone jacks, the cable, and I'm like, did I sell this? Who manufactured this cable? Who sold this cable? So it's a thing that really agitates my wife anywhere we go. I'm looking up at the cameras. I'm like, what kind of camera is that? Did I sell that? What kind of cable is ran along? And she's like, stop that. You're weird. So I got to catch myself looking up. While we're trying to eat dinner, she's talking to me, and I'm looking up at the ceiling. Yeah, it's a dinner time problem when we're out to eat. And I know you say you're not much of a music person, but if Vertical Cable had a theme song, what would a theme song for Vertical Cable be?
All right, I thought about it a little bit. I came up with Sweet Home Alabama.
Okay.
And the reason why, you might think I'm a little bit oddball.
I was about to say that's a little weird, but continue, yeah.
It's a little weird. Well, we're very proud of our manufacturing facility in the United States. We're very proud to be able to say that we manufacture product in the United States. I can't remember what famous person said it, but literally the hardest thing you could do in America is build something here as far as a business goes. We're very proud of that. We're proud of our roots. We're proud of all of our regional areas that we have opened up our locations in order to service that customer base. And it's just, we're proud to say that we make product here, man. It's not an easy thing to do. It's, man, hours and hundreds of thousands of dollars in investment, probably even more than that. It's not a small thing to say when you make a product here in the United States. We're very proud of that. We're very proud of that. I think that song kind of encompasses the way we feel about it.
Okay. Now you said Sweet Home Alabama as like the song, and my mind went to the movie. So it was two different aspects there.
Oh, there you go.
You said Sweet Home Alabama, and my mind's picturing the movie with Reese Witherspoon, and you're talking about the song. So let's do our final talking point here and circle back around to TEKFest 2025. Now, I can see the passion in your eyes when you talk about vertical cable, and the passion in my eyes when I talk about cable and connections, and then the passion in both of our eyes when we talk about TEKFest, because we know the type of knowledge and support that people can gain by attending this event. You came to the very first ever TEKFest. This would be the third one, and you'll be there again this year. So, what's your favorite part of meeting customers face to face at a trade show like TEKFest?
My favorite part is number one is being able to put a face to a name. Because once I meet these guys and I know their business name, it's like, oh yeah, well we just we shipped a pallet of Cat 6 out to a job for you. How to go.
Right.
That kind of thing with the direct feedback. I also like that you guys do a whole bunch of different training sessions where people can kind of sit in and learn different aspects of the industry, from installation all the way to product. That's really cool. I really like that. But it's probably the just the direct one-on-one feedback with these guys, with not just installers, but like top grade installers. These guys are not, they're not small guys. These guys know what the heck they're doing. When they tell you something, you can take it to the bank.
Yeah.
And it really is. It's so important for us to just make sure that we're keeping our knife edge sharp. We're staying on the edge as far as, keeping these guys happy and making sure that our product is delivering to the standards that it should be, and our service is delivering to the standards that it should be. It's really important. And it's nice to, just as a thank you back to these guys, industry wise, all this TEKFest stuff. I don't know if you mentioned it yet, but this stuff mostly it's all going to charity. You guys do charity installs after the TEKFest event.
Mm-hmm.
That's an awesome thing. We love to support. It's just great all around. It's really good to be in the area with colleagues, getting to talk all day. You get to talk some more at night over a couple drinks if that's the way you want to do it. But it's just a great time. It's a great time. Everyone's very supportive. Even other manufacturers show up to TEKFest that might sell stuff that we sell also. It's all it's all a jovial atmosphere. Everyone's trying to make everybody better. Just the whole I don't know, the whole aura of it is just really great. It's very collaborative.
Exactly. Yeah. And you hit the nail on the head. All the money raised from TEKFest all the proceeds go right back into TeXgiving, which is their annual charity install event where they pick one deserving charity anywhere in the country, and they completely overhaul their technology, their cameras, their access control, their TVs, audio, video, sound, you name it. If it's got a plug and a cable, it's eligible to be overhauled by the TKW crew. And they're actually voting internally right now to see who is going to be selected for TeXgiving, which will be announced at TEKFest. The winner for TeXgiving will be announced at TEKFest. And I know TEKFest this year, they're going to have 6 or 7 keynote speakers, all industry experts in different avenues. They're going to have the Tech Olympics, which is growing from what it was last year when they did the rack build competition. They're going to do the Tech Olympics with different skills challenges, each sponsored by a different manufacturer or vendor. They're going to have the on-hands or hands-on, I should say, exhibition labs where you can get hands-on with all the products that the vendors are bringing and actually talk to the manufacturers and the experts with the product and ask questions. PDK is giving a certification course. The fiber school will be there. They're going to be teaching all about fiber termination and splicing and everything that has to do with fiber. It's going to be amazing. And like I said, it's a 2-day event, April 23rd and 24th in Nashville, Tennessee. And I know that was a lot, but you have to be there to really take it all in and experience the amazing event that is TEKFest. With that said,
it is a lot, man.
With that said, can we expect any surprises from Vertical Cable at TEKFest?
Yes, not so much on the product front, but we do have some surprises. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to do a jack termination. Okay. We're going to see if anybody can beat the world record as terminating a keystone jack with our punch down tool. I know a lot of these guys are going to get close, but that is 18 seconds.
I think I have the world record for 1 minute and 12 seconds. Is that correct?
The long, yeah, there you for one. Oh man, you're right. You would go out of business if you were installed these. That's for sure.
No, I think you said the
That's a
fastest
high
was
hourly rate.
18 seconds, I think is what you said.
18 seconds is the official record, timed and videoed and all official. So we'll see if we can beat that. And then again, we're giving out the new technician award. We're going to be doing that again this year. We'll have a new winner for that. And again, just come by, swing by the table, come say hello. We'll have our lovely booth set up. You guys can check out some of the stuff hands-on. And if you have any questions, we're always here for you. We'll take it from the sales end on my end. We've got Hugo coming from the technical end as far as installation goes. So pretty much any question that these guys have between the three of us, we should be able to answer it in person.
Absolutely. And I know we're getting close to time here. We started a little late, had some technical issues at the beginning there. What is one must-have tool or piece of equipment that these installers must have in their tool bag on all their job sites?
Well, I got to give the VMAX tool for that one, man.
Yep.
It's got to be. That for sure. It speeds up these terminations so much. And all of us know, I shouldn't even have to say it, the biggest cost on these jobs is labor. Anything you can do to save yourself time is going to save you money in the long run, more than, hey, let me cheap out and buy this cheaper brand of jack for this job because I'm tight. You're going to be saving a hell of a lot more money getting a quality tool that works every time, that speeds those terminations up. I'm not saying everyone's going to be able to terminate a jack at 16 or 18 seconds, but anything that tool is going to do to help you to terminate down faster is going to be a very important one.
Absolutely.
Keep in your bag. And again, we'll have them at TEKFest. You guys can try them out in person. If you're not a believer yet, we will make you a believer if you show up to that show.
So what is the best way for our listeners to connect with Vertical Cable after TEKFest?
Well, after, before, during, it's all going to be the same. Whether you want to speak with us directly, you can always reach out. I'm in the New York location here at Vertical Cable. Just a phone call away. If you prefer to, the techs prefer to deal with their distributors, that's fine too. You guys at Cable and Connection specifically are phenomenal customer service. So most of your guys' customers just prefer to kind of go through you guys to get to us. But either way, man, social media, direct phone calls, it's all good. We're going to get back to you however you need us to get back to you. We're going to answer the questions you need to get answered.
All right. So we like to end the podcast with a giveaway from our guest on the show. With Vertical Cable being on here, we want to reward our loyal listeners. And to enter this podcast giveaway, we want you to head on over to both Cable and Connections and Vertical Cable social media. You'll find our giveaway post for this episode, and I want you to drop a comment with the secret phrase, "Cable it like you mean it," and then we'll pick a winner and announce it probably March 15th is probably when we'll announce that winner. So you want to make sure that you're following Cable and Connections, the KYC Podcast, and Vertical Cable so you don't miss the giveaway. Vertical Cable, what did you say you were going to give away to our listeners?
Sure. So we're going to be doing a nice little package, a little installer package. It's going to include the VMAX punchdown tool. We're going to send you a 25-pack of Cat 6 jacks. And I'm going to make the decision right now on the fly. We're going to send you a 24 count of the 6-inch slim cords, new product, and then some swag as well. Be some hat, T-shirt. We got all kinds of stuff involved. That'll be directly through here. And then if you want to double check Vertical Cable specific our social media, we're going to be giving away 2 free tickets to TEKFest via our social media as well. You can kind of just keep an eye on that as far as how to apply for it, and you'll see that on there in the next couple days. So two different prizes. So we got the giveaway gift pack, and then we've got the tickets for TEKFest as well.
With that being said, Adam, I really appreciate you jumping on the episode today. I really hope our listeners get a lot of information about who you are, who Vertical Cable is, and even about TEKFest in general. And I hope this sparks interest in your guys' brand and your products, and we'll see a lot of new faces, both at Cable and Connections and at TEKFest. Appreciate you again, Adam. Thank you for joining us.
Will do anytime. And anyone who we obviously want everyone to go to TEKFest, but anyone, if you have any questions or anything along those lines, you can put your comments right here in the comments of this video. Once Theron posts it, reach out to a distributor, us direct. We're here to help you guys. We're here to help you make some money. Anything we can do to facilitate that, we're here for you.
Thank you. Have a good one, buddy.
No problem, man. Thank you. Bye-bye.